Have you ever looked at your closet, at your collection of bags, and just felt off? Like something isn't quite clicking? Like you're missing that effortless polish you see in truly elegant women? I'm telling you, it's not about the price tag, and it's certainly not about chasing fleeting trends. It's about a discernment, a subtle understanding of what elevates your look versus what drags it down. And today, we're cutting through the noise because I'm going to reveal the 12 specific handbags that truly elegant women absolutely, unequivocally avoid. If you want to refine your style, if you want to cultivate that undeniable aura of sophistication, you must watch this to the very end. The final insight? That's the one that will completely transform how you see your accessories. Don't dare click away. Trendy traps. Let's start here with something that ensnares so many of us, especially when we're constantly bombarded with images of what's new and now. I'm talking about those hyper-trendy bags that scream for attention, the ones you see plastered all over social media for a hot minute before they vanish into obscurity. There's a distinct difference between being fashionable and being elegant. And often, those two paths diverge dramatically when it comes to accessories. An elegant woman understands that true style isn't about being a walking billboard for the latest fad. It's about building a wardrobe of pieces that serve you, that speak to your personal aesthetic, and that don't look dated before you've even finished paying for them. Think about those bags with exaggerated, almost cartoonish embellishments, oversized logos that swallow the entire bag, or hardware so chunky it looks like it belongs on a medieval armor set. These aren't statements of sophistication. They're often cries for validation, or worse, just a sign that you fell for clever marketing. The problem with these fleeting trends isn't just that they're expensive and quickly obsolete. It's that they actually detract from your overall presentation. When your bag is screaming for attention, it pulls focus away from you. An elegant woman wants to be seen, not her accessories. Her bag should complement her, enhancing her outfit without overpowering it. It's a supporting character, never the lead. So, when you see those bags that are designed to be it for a season, the ones with bizarre shapes, neon colors that have no place outside of a rave, or materials that look more like a child's craft project than a luxury item, understand that these are precisely the bags an elegant woman scrolls right past. She's investing in longevity, in pieces that will feel relevant and chic years from now, not just until the next fashion week rolls around. It's about quiet confidence, not loud declarations. Consider the context in which these bags are often promoted. They're usually seen on runways or in highly stylized shoots, situations far removed from real life. In the everyday world, these bags often look out of place, even jarring. An elegant woman's style feels natural, effortless, and appropriate for her environment, whether she's heading to a business meeting or a casual lunch. She understands that her accessories should blend seamlessly into her life, supporting her activities and her image rather than fighting against them. This discernment is key. It's not about being boring, it's about choosing intentionally. It's about asking yourself, does this bag truly enhance my overall look, or is it just trying too hard? More often than not, those trendy traps fall into the latter category, and an elegant woman's radar is finely tuned to avoid them. She seeks enduring beauty, not transient hype. And let's be honest, there's a certain level of immaturity that often accompanies these overly trendy bags. It's like trying too hard to stay perpetually young or desperately trying to prove you're in the know. True elegance emanates from a place of self assuredness, a quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout. When your handbag is doing all the shouting, it speaks volumes about a lack of that inner security. It suggests you're following rather than leading, conforming rather than defining your own style. Elegant women are leaders in their own lives and in their personal aesthetics. They set the tone. They don't follow the crowd, especially when the crowd is chasing something that will be forgotten by next season. It's about personal authority and style. Finally, think about the practical aspect. Many of these super trendy bags are utterly impractical. They might be too small to hold your essentials, or so oddly shaped that they're awkward to carry. An elegant woman values functionality as much as aesthetics. She needs a bag that can serve her life, not just sit pretty for a social media post. She's not going to compromise convenience for a fleeting trend. Her choices reflect a thoughtful approach to her entire wardrobe, where every piece, including her handbag, has a purpose beyond just looking cool for a moment. This understanding of utility, combined with timeless appeal, is a hallmark of sophisticated style, and it's why those trendy traps are always left behind. Cheap charms. Now, let's talk about something equally detrimental to an elegant aesthetic, but from a different angle entirely. Those bags that pretend to be something they're not, or worse, are just outright cheap in their construction and materials. I'm not talking about price point here necessarily, because you can find incredibly chic, affordable bags. What I'm referring to are those bags that scream poor quality from a mile away, no matter the label attached to them. Elegant women have a keen eye for craftsmanship and material, and they instinctively recoil from anything that looks flimsy, poorly stitched, or uses synthetic materials that betray their true nature. This isn't snobbery, it's discernment. It's understanding that a bag is an extension of your overall image, and if that extension looks shoddy, it brings down your entire presentation. Think about bags made from very thin, plasticky looking faux leather that crinkles or scratches easily, revealing the cheap fabric underneath, or hardware that is clearly lightweight, hollow, and tarnishes quickly, turning a brassy yellow or flaking off paint. These are immediate tells. An elegant woman understands that even if she's on a budget, she's better off with fewer but higher quality pieces than a closet full of items that scream disposable. She knows that the true cost isn't just the purchase price, but how long the item lasts and how well it maintains its appearance. A cheap bag might save you money up front, but if it looks worn and tattered after only a few uses, it's a false economy. Another culprit in this category are bags laden with excessive, poorly executed embellishments. Rhinestones that look like they're glued on haphazardly, sequins that fall off with the slightest touch, or charms that are flimsy and loud. These details, rather than adding sparkle or interest, simply amplify the cheapness of the overall design. An elegant woman prefers subtle, well-crafted details that enhance, not detract. She'd rather have a beautifully minimalist bag in a rich, supple material than a bag overloaded with glitter and gaudy ornamentation that screams costume. It's about quality over quantity always. The structure, or lack thereof, is also a dead giveaway. Bags that immediately lose their shape, sag, or look perpetually deflated, even when new, communicate a lack of care and quality. An elegant bag, even a soft one, typically has a certain integrity to its form. It holds itself well, whether it's sitting on a table or hanging from your shoulder. This structural integrity speaks to good design and construction, even in a relaxed style. When a bag constantly looks like it's collapsing, it sends a subconscious message of disarray, which is the antithesis of elegance. Ultimately, an elegant woman understands that her accessories should elevate her, not diminish her. A cheap-looking bag, regardless of how fashionable it tries to be, will always undermine an otherwise polished outfit. She invests in pieces that hold up, that look refined, and that subtly communicate quality and good taste. She'd rather carry a simple, well-made canvas tote that looks intentional and clean than a synthetic designer dupe that screams imitation. It's about authenticity and substance, not superficial sparkle. She prioritizes lasting impression over fleeting appeal, and cheap charms simply don't make the cut. Logos loud. Let's dive into something that often sparks debate, but from the perspective of an elegant woman, the answer is crystal clear: bags that aggressively brandish their logos. I'm talking about those bags where the brand name or monogram is not just visible, but is the entire design of the bag, repeated endlessly or emblazoned across the front in an undeniable, almost challenging way. For an elegant woman, this isn't a statement of luxury. It's often a statement of insecurity, or worse, a desperate attempt to appear affluent. True elegance doesn't need to shout its provenance from the rooftops. It speaks softly, with confidence and subtle cues. There's a profound difference between a discreet logo, perhaps a small, tastefully placed emblem, or an embossed leather tag, and a bag that is essentially a walking advertisement. An elegant woman carries a bag because she loves its design, its craftsmanship, its material, and how it perfectly complements her personal style. She's not carrying it to impress others with its brand name. Her value doesn't come from the labels she wears. It comes from her intrinsic sense of self, her intellect, her grace, and her cultivated taste. When a bag is screaming its brand, it actually detracts from her personal presence. Think about it. When your bag is entirely covered in a logo pattern, what does that communicate? It often suggests that the brand itself is the most important aspect, overshadowing your own individual style and personality. An elegant woman wants to be recognized for her unique style, not for her ability to purchase an expensive item. She prefers that people notice her, her outfit, her aura, before they even register the brand of her handbag. Her accessories are there to serve her, not the other way around. Subtlety is a powerful tool in her style arsenal. Moreover, these heavily logoed bags, particularly those that are part of widely disseminated it trends, often lose their allure incredibly quickly. What might seem desirable today can look terribly dated in just a few seasons. An elegant woman is building a timeless wardrobe, a collection of pieces that transcend fleeting fads. She invests in quality and classic design, knowing that these will serve her for years, perhaps even decades. A bag that relies entirely on a conspicuous logo for its appeal is inherently less enduring, as the cachet of that particular branding can wane. And let's be brutally honest, the more conspicuous the logo, the higher the chances of encountering a poorly executed imitation. An elegant woman would rather carry a beautifully designed, unbranded bag than a fake designer item that screams its inauthenticity. She values integrity and genuine quality above all. The pursuit of status through overt branding is simply not her game. Her style is about substance, not superficiality. She chooses quiet luxury, an understated sophistication that speaks volumes without uttering a single branded word. It's about owning her style, not being owned by a brand. Worn out, this next point might seem obvious, but it's astonishing how many otherwise well-dressed women miss it. Bags that are simply worn out. I'm not talking about vintage or beautifully aged leather with character. I'm referring to bags that are genuinely tired, damaged, and clearly past their prime. Elegant women understand that every single element of their presentation contributes to the overall impression, and a tattered, scuffed, or broken handbag can swiftly undo all other efforts to look polished and refined. It sends a message of carelessness, of neglecting details, and that is fundamentally antithetical to elegance. Consider the common culprits: frayed straps that look like they're about to give way, corners that are abraded down to the piping, or even expose the inner lining, hardware that is tarnished, scratched beyond repair, or completely broken, zippers that snag, linings that are stained and torn, or discolored patches where the material has simply given up. These aren't signs of a well-loved bag. They're signs of a bag that should have been retired or, at the very least, repaired long ago. An elegant woman knows that holding onto a bag past its functional and aesthetic lifespan is a disservice to her entire image. There's a fine line between a bag that shows patina and one that just looks neglected. Patina adds character, a rich depth to quality materials like leather, telling a story of use and care. But genuine wear and tear, actual damage, peeling materials, or significant structural compromise is a different story entirely. An elegant woman knows when to let go. She understands that even her most beloved accessories have a lifespan, and it's better to replace an item that's beyond repair than to cling to it out of sentimentality, sacrificing her polished appearance in the process. This attention to detail extends to how a bag is maintained. An elegant woman doesn't just buy a beautiful bag, she cares for it. She stores it properly, cleans it when necessary, and addresses minor issues before they become major damage. Her bags are an investment, and like any investment, they require upkeep. This isn't just about preserving the bag, it's about respecting her own aesthetic and ensuring that every piece she carries reflects her standard of quality and refinement. She understands that a pristine appearance, even for a well-used item, speaks volumes. Ultimately, a worn-out bag contradicts the very essence of elegance, which is about intentionality, grace, and presenting one's best self. It suggests a lack of awareness or a dismissal of the importance of details. An elegant woman ensures that every accessory she carries is in impeccable condition because she knows that true sophistication lies in the coherence and care of the entire ensemble. So, before you grab that familiar bag, take a moment to truly assess its condition. If it's seen better days, it's time to respectfully part ways and allow your elegance to truly shine through, unburdened by anything less than perfect. Oversized totes. Let's shift our focus to something that, on the surface, might seem practical, but in its extreme, completely undermines an elegant aesthetic: the truly oversized tote bag. I'm not talking about a generously sized work bag or a chic carry-all for a quick weekend trip. I'm referring to those monstrous bags that are so enormous. They look like you're either packing for a 2-week vacation or attempting to smuggle a small dog. For an elegant woman, Proportion and purpose are paramount, and a bag that dwarfs her frame or looks like it could hold her entire household simply doesn't align with her polished image. The immediate issue with these colossal totes is a matter of scale. When your bag is disproportionately large compared to your body, it creates an awkward visual imbalance. Instead of complementing your silhouette, it overwhelms it, making you appear smaller and your overall look feel clumsy. An elegant woman understands the power of proportion. She chooses bags that harmonize with her stature and her outfit, ensuring that nothing she carries detracts from her graceful presence. Her bag should be an accessory, not a cumbersome burden. Beyond aesthetics, there's the practical reality. What are you truly carrying in a bag that gargantuan? Often, these huge totes become black holes where essentials get lost and unnecessary clutter accumulates. An elegant woman is efficient and organized. She carries what she needs, not what she might need, and her bag reflects this thoughtful approach. A sprawling tote often suggests a lack of curation, a haphazardness that is the antithesis of a refined, intentional style. Her bag should facilitate her life, not complicate it by becoming a bottomless pit of forgotten items. Then there's the way these bags are often carried. Due to their size and weight, because let's be honest, if it's that big, it's likely heavy, they can cause you to slouch or carry yourself awkwardly. Elegance is also about posture, poise, and effortless movement. A bag that compromises your physical grace immediately contradicts that image. An elegant woman moves with purpose and ease, and her accessories support rather than hinder her natural carriage. She'd never sacrifice her posture for a bag, no matter how much she could fit inside it. Furthermore, an oversized tote, particularly one that is perpetually overstuffed, often looks perpetually informal and casual. While there's a place for casual bags, an elegant woman understands that such extreme sizing rarely transitions seamlessly into more polished environments. She has different bags for different purposes, and she makes thoughtful choices based on the occasion. A bag that looks like it belongs on a beach trip is unlikely to convey sophistication in a boardroom or a chic restaurant. She knows when to scale down and when to choose a bag that truly elevates the moment. Ultimately, an elegant woman understands that there's a sweet spot for bag size, large enough to be functional, but never so large as to overwhelm her or her outfit. She values thoughtful design, appropriate scale, and a sense of effortless polish. Those gargantuan, everything but the kitchen sink totes? They're simply not in her repertoire because they betray the very principles of balance, intention, and understated sophistication that define her style. She opts for curated essentials, not cavernous carriers, clunky clutches. Let's turn our attention to the evening realm and discuss a particular misstep that can completely derail a sophisticated look: the clunky clutch. I'm not talking about a chic, structured evening bag that adds a touch of glamour. I'm referring to those oversized, awkward clutches that are either too bulky to comfortably hold or so heavily embellished that they look more like a piece of costume jewelry gone wrong rather than a refined accessory. For an elegant woman, an evening bag should be an exquisite, delicate flourish, not a cumbersome distraction. The primary issue here is once again proportion and balance. An evening bag is meant to be a small, precious accent, a jewel-like addition to your ensemble. When a clutch is excessively large or filled with so many unnecessary items that it bulges ungracefully, it loses all sense of refinement. it becomes visually heavy, pulling focus away from your delicate evening wear and your own graceful silhouette. An elegant woman understands that evening looks thrive on lightness and a sense of ease, and a clunky clutch instantly undermines that ethereal quality. Consider the aesthetic impact of a bag that's simply too much. If it's laden with overly large, cheap looking crystals or has bizarre sculptural elements that make it difficult to even hold, it quickly veers into territory that screams, trying too hard. Elegance, especially in the evening, is about effortless sparkle, subtle luxury, and a quiet confidence. A clutch that is loud, ostentatious, or difficult to manage breaks that spell. An elegant woman chooses a bag that feels like a natural extension of her arm, something that enhances her movement, not impedes it. Then there's the practical aspect of carrying such an item. An evening clutch should be easy to hold in one hand, tuck under an arm, or even have a delicate chain strap for hands-free moments. A clutch that requires both hands to manage, or that constantly slips and slides because of its bulk or awkward shape, is utterly impractical. It forces you to constantly adjust, to look less poised, and ultimately distracts from your enjoyment of the evening. An elegant woman values comfort and seamless interaction with her accessories, especially when she's out socializing. Furthermore, the materials and embellishments on a clunky clutch often fall short. They might be made from stiff, unyielding synthetics, or feature adornments that look mass-produced and lack any genuine sparkle. An elegant woman gravitates towards fine materials, silks, satins, delicate leathers, or exquisitely crafted metals, and embellishments that are subtle, sophisticated, and genuinely beautiful, like pave crystals or fine beading. She understands that the quality of these details is paramount in an evening accessory, and anything less betrays the elegance of the moment. Ultimately, an elegant woman views her evening clutch as a finishing touch, a piece that adds to the magic of the occasion without overwhelming it. She understands that less is often more, and that a small, perfectly proportioned, exquisitely crafted bag speaks volumes more than a large, showy, and ultimately cumbersome one. She seeks understated glamour, a quiet opulence that perfectly complements her evening attire. The clunky clutch, by its very nature, is a jarring note in her symphony of sophistication. Backpack blunders. Let's tackle the backpack, a common and often practical item, but one that an elegant woman approaches with extreme caution to avoid what I call a backpack blunder. I'm not talking about a sleek, minimalist leather backpack chosen for travel or a very specific polished casual occasion. I'm referring to the casual, often collegiate style backpacks that are clearly designed for utility over grace, or worse, those adorned with childish prints, excessive zippers, or flimsy materials. For an elegant woman, a backpack, if chosen at all, must be a deliberate and refined choice, never an afterthought. The primary issue with most standard backpacks is their inherently casual and often youthful aesthetic. They immediately downgrade the formality of an outfit, pulling it into a far more relaxed, almost student-like territory. An elegant woman's style is typically characterized by a sense of polish and intention, even in her casual wear. A bulky fabric backpack with multiple external pockets and a sporty vibe directly contradicts this. It lacks the structure, the refined materials, and the sophisticated lines that define her accessory choices. Then there's the way many backpacks sit on the body. They can look shapeless, creating an unflattering silhouette, especially when overstuffed. They often add bulk to the back and shoulders, which can detract from an otherwise streamlined look. An elegant woman pays attention to how her clothes and accessories interact with her body shape, ensuring that everything enhances her natural lines. A backpack that creates an awkward bulge or pulls her shoulders back ungracefully is simply not an option. She prioritizes fluid movement and a clean profile. Furthermore, the materials often used in mass market backpacks are typically synthetic and utilitarian: nylon, canvas, or basic polyester. While these are functional, they rarely possess the luxurious feel or visual richness that an elegant woman gravitates towards. She might consider a structured leather backpack in a neutral tone with minimal hardware for specific travel needs. But anything less than that, anything that leans into the purely practical or overly casual realm, is a definite no-go. The material must align with her overall commitment to quality. Consider the context. A backpack often signals a very specific activity: hiking, commuting to school, or a casual day out that requires carrying many items. While an elegant woman does engage in these activities, she has sophisticated solutions for them. She might opt for a chic tote, a structured briefcase, or a very specific, high-quality travel bag. The ubiquitous, everyday backpack often lacks the versatility to seamlessly transition between various settings while maintaining an air of refinement. It rarely elevates, it mostly just functions.